welcome back everybody for episode 2, and we're going to be looking at forest bases. So grab your brushes, grab your leaves, your twigs and your grasses, and let's get started. So what I've done so far for the base that we're going to be doing is that I have attached a couple of big chunks of cork, a little bit of modelling sand and a good healthy dose of the Astro Granite Technical paint just over there around the base, just to give it a nice sort of starting texture. So what we're going to do is that we're going to grab a chunky brush like this one here, and then we're going to make a mixture of Doomball Brown and Caliban Green. And this is just going to be our starting base colour for our forest style that we're going to go for. So we want probably a 50-50 mix of this, and we want to be really liberal with this. You can thin it down as well, and that will just help to get it into all the cracks and crevices and such, but you can just wiggle it all in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly introduce more of the green to the base, like the forest floor, and a bit more of the brown to the rocks. And that will help just to give it a bit of a contrast between the two elements. So now that's dry, and we're going to move on to our next step. So we're going to start to build the colours up a little bit. So I thought it would be quite appropriate to have some Lauren Forest. We're going to grab a medium-sized dry brush, dab a bit of that on, wipe most of it off, and then we're going to just apply a nice heavy dry brush along the base, and going up some of the rocks as well, just by a little bit, just like so. We're then going to grab another brush for the rocks, and I'm going to get a bit of this more Fang Brown, try a little bit of that to my brush. So use a smaller one just for this. I'm going to give that a nice dosage. And then just to help try and blend the colours together a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of this forest green into our paint for the rocks. And the rocks are going to take no time at all, as we start to add in some Talon sand. And I'm just going to wipe off the majority of that. And again, just maybe a little bit too much on there, but that's fine because we can blend that back in a little bit. I want to try and now move down the rock to show where the light source is hitting it. But once we got these colours on, then we can start building back over the top of them with the greens and such. Cool. And as we're adding in more green, we're just going to move towards the more open spaces. Again, just up on the rocks a little bit. And just a little bit just on the very tops of the rocks. Bit of that forest green in there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a tiny bit of purple. And this I'm going to use as more of a like a heavy wash, just to go around the bottoms of the rocks. And purple is quite a good colour to use when you are doing a foresty sort of base, because it's quite a natural colour. And I think it just adds just a little something, it just adds something really nice to the piece. As well when it's dry. I'm just kind of gonna take it out a little bit. Because of course if it does work out that it's a bit too dry, we can always just dry brush some more green back at the top. So yeah, but mainly just keep around the base with the rocks there. Cool, leave that to dry and back to the next one. Excellent, right, so the purple's dried. I'm just going to go back over just a couple of areas very, very lightly with some moot green. This is this fluorescent green that I thought maybe not to use, but I'm going to use a little bit just to see what it's like. So, just going to really lightly head over the top. Picking out the raised areas, and it's not too bad. Just picking out where it would be most greenest. So maybe just on top of these boulders. Just a little bit. I only need a tiny bit. Then I'm going to add a bit more of this Uruk flesh. This is more of a kind of a yellowy light green. This is great as a highlight for your forest bases. And of course, orc flesh. I'm just going to highlight some of the rocks with a bit of grey just to add a different tone. So I'm going to grab same brush and some storm vermin fur. I'll pop a little bit of this on, and then I might mix that with some administratum grey just to make it a little bit lighter. Well, the sun's coming back now. Let's get into the gaps there. Now I've got storm vermin fur. Mix a bit of that, like 50-50. Doesn't have to be too precise. And just a little bit over these rocks there. A little gravelly bit. Okay, now we are ready. Put it in the sunshine. There you go, now you can see it. So now we're ready for the fun part. Back in a mo. Right, so the fun part is that we get to stick lots of different things now onto our base. The majority of these, so it's going to be these adhesive little tufty grass bits and pieces. I've also got some flowers, and I've got some green stuff. Well, some autumn leaf litter. This stuff, the majority you can get from Green Stuff World, or you can find them on eBay. They're relatively cheap. Just look for like model railway flowers or tufts, and you will find an abundance of all sorts. I think that's like a marshy version. These are just like a lavender collection. And yeah, and then just some autumny leaves. They're great. And you get a tub that will last you an entire lifetime. So we're going to, because these are like a selection of different sizes. So you've got some really big ones, medium ones, some really tiny ones. Just going to pick off a couple of these. They've got a little adhesive tab on the bottom. And yeah, so I say this is the fun part because you can just be really creative. So I'm going to stick a blob sort of up against there. And I'm going to take this really nice like vibrant purple and just pop it just in the recess in there. Try and get it to focus. There you go, that's better. I might stick another lighter purple and just Around the other side, maybe about there. Ooh, I don't know. What about that? Really jab it in a little bit. Grab a couple of little tufts. Pull it apart. I'm going to stick one there, and then the other one. I'm going to pull that excess off. The other one I'm going to just pop about. I'm just trying to bear in mind where the model's feet are going to be. There's going to be one on the rock, and there's going to be one about round there. So of course I want to pop this where his feet are. So stick one there. Look, that looks just a million times better already. Now with the leaves, they're not adhesive, obviously, so we're going to need to have a little bit of glue just to stick them down. So I'm going to grab, I'm kind of cheating a bit, some super glue. And then using something like a cocktail stick, but I don't have a cocktail stick, I'm going to use this blunt craft knife blade. I'm just going to make a little blob, maybe about there. And I'm going to pick a leaf and then stick them on there. And yeah, you can just dot these about, put as many on there as you like, or as you like, but they're just, yeah, I think they're great, these things. And I think they're from silver birch seed pods, these things, and someone's obviously collected a load of them and dyed them in this different colour. So a cheap way of going about it would be, of course, to find a silver birch during the autumn time and then scooping up all of the seeds, these little leafy looking seeds things. So yeah, so I'm just going to add on a couple more and I'll show you the final result. So then, if you've been following along, then this is the result that you should have: a beautiful scenic forest base. I've done this base for a Dryad for D&D. I know it's an Age of Sigmar character, but the model looks fantastic and I had a spare one lying around. So, hope that everybody enjoyed this video on how to do forest bases. A lot of it does come down to the kind of the fun bit, the final bit, when you get to stick on all the little adhesive grasses and flowers and such. It really lifts the base and just adds so much texture and so much colour to it. It's fantastic. So yeah, so all the usual links are in the description below. So that's for my Instagram page, we can find stills of this. For my affiliate link at Wayland Games, they'll have loads of basing items on there as well. I believe they've got quite a lot of the Green Stuff World items on there too, so you can, if you don't have any, you can purchase them through my link below. And a little bit does go towards my channel, and I just put the money straight back into making more videos, buying new models, supplies, etc. So without further ado, stay safe, stay beautiful, and we'll see you next time.